Good evening, everyone. This is Michael Weeks, the Minister of National Security. I am here with Mr. Alex Young, the Deputy Director of the Bermuda Weather Service, and Mr. Lyndon Rayner of the Disaster Risk Reduction and Mitigation Team. We are here to give an update of where we are currently in the hurricane status. I will turn it over to Mr. Alex Young.
Thank you, Minister Weeks. Based on the latest advisory from the National Hurricane Center at 9 p.m. Atlantic Daylight Time, Hurricane Ernesto is still currently a Category 2 hurricane with maximum sustained winds near 85 knots, with gusts up to 105 knots. Ernesto is currently 81 nautical miles to the south of Bermuda, and based on latest satellite and radar imagery, we continue to see the eye wall approaching the island. What we are experiencing currently at the moment are winds 50 knots sustained and above, with even higher gusts being experienced across various parts of the island. And we do expect conditions to continue to deteriorate over the period of tonight, with hurricane force winds beginning shortly across our marine area and beginning on island sometime near midnight tonight. We wish to underscore that with the slow movement of Ernesto near 11 knots or so towards the northeast, we are expecting the tropical storm force winds as well as the 50 knot sustained winds to persist well into Sunday. And hurricane force winds beginning from midnight over the island begin to cease around 2 p.m. Tomorrow afternoon. Based on our latest estimates, the closest point of approach to Bermuda is still going to be at 7 a.m. Tomorrow morning, and that would be about 25 nautical miles of the island or directly over the island. Based on estimates from radar imagery, it is looking quite likely that the eye will keep at least the western parts of the island, sometime between, I would say, 6 to 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. The worst of the hurricane could be estimated to occur between 4 to 10 a.m. Tomorrow morning, that is on Saturday, with a very slow gradual improvement expected thereafter. We do expect tropical storm force winds to cease over the island 2 a.m. on Sunday and at about 4 a.m. on Sunday over the marine area. Like I said, this prolonged period of tropical storm force winds and extended period of hurricane force winds for about 12 hours is going to make things quite difficult for us here on the island. Good. So during the eye of a hurricane, conditions could become calm, rain could cease at times. Ernesto is not a very strong hurricane. It's a low-end Category 2 hurricane, and it is expected to pass as a moderate to strong Category 1 hurricane. Some slow weakening is expected before Ernesto makes its nearest passage to or near west or just over the island. But yeah, we are urging the public, although it may seem as though the hurricane has passed, to remain indoors so that you safeguard your lives as well as safeguard the lives of our emergency personnel who may have to respond if there's some emergency that take place. So yeah, the best thing to do is to stay indoors. The all clear should be given sometime on Sunday morning, presuming that the forecast doesn't deviate much from the next advisory, which we would receive from the National Hurricane Center at 12 a.m. midnight. As we get that advisory, we would update the EMO, the government, and all of the public as well.
Thank you, Alex, for that update. And we really appreciate what you guys are doing down there at the Bermuda Weather Service. I would like to now turn it over to Mr. Lyndon Rayner to get an update from the Disaster Risk Reduction Mitigation Team on our emergency services.
Good evening, everyone. Minister, the Emergency Measures Organization Operations Group is now fully embedded here at the Bermuda Fire Station. That group consists of representatives from Bermuda Police Service, Bermuda Fire Service, Public Works, Bermuda Regiment, and also the representative from the Ministry of Health. So right now it's just really a waiting game for us because based on Alex's update, there's not much we can do at this point in time other than to just wait until the wind has subsided, and which will allow the police regiment and public works to go out and start doing some road assessment, and thereafter we would then decide how we're going to clear the roads based on the assessments that we receive back from the crews on the road. All right, as you know, the shelter opened up at 5 o'clock this afternoon, and as of 9:30, there was only 10 persons in the shelter, 9 males and 1 female. There's been no other reports of persons who are oxygen dependent have made it or have attended the shelter. So from a shelter point of view, it looks like our residents have decided to shelter in place at home or wherever they feel is safe. So I think the objective has been achieved of keeping people off the street. My report I see from Belco at this current moment is that about 10,588 customers without power, and it's spread throughout the entire island. A lot of it, the outage was due to vegetation. So unfortunately, people didn't heed some of the advice where came out early in the year and in the lead up to this storm is that they should try to cut the vegetation away from the power lines where it was safe to do so, or seek professional help from Belco or the landscaping companies. So sometimes we are our worst enemy by not tending to our property. And so, as Belco has reported, a large portion of the outage is due to vegetation falling onto the lines.
Thank you for that update, Lyndon. And as we close, I want to remind the public that this storm is a serious incident. We've had reports that people, regardless of what we have advised, have gone swimming. I've even had reports that people have been out flying kites this afternoon. These things put the emergency services at risk. So I really want to reiterate and to remind the public that we can't be lulled into thinking that this is just a passing storm. It is actually a hurricane that will bring sustained winds, tropical storm sustained winds, and hurricane force winds for most of Saturday. So please, we implore you to stay inside, because those adventurers out there, if they get themselves in trouble, it's the emergency services that have to come to your aid, and that puts everyone at risk. So having said that, I want to say thank you, Bermuda, for heeding the call, for those of us that's heeding the call of sheltering in place. And hats off and appreciation to all the emergency services there that are on standby. So let's weather this storm together. Those that are inside, please shelter in place. Do not come outside until we have been given an all clear. The causeway is now closed, and it will remain closed until an assessment is done once the storm has passed. So, and our next update should be about 6 a.m. tomorrow after we get an update from the Bermuda Weather Service. So thanks again. Please stay safe, Bermuda.